it's got to be Mrazek, right?
100%. Like the thing is, I listened to what Sheldon Keefe's reasoning for going with Jack Campbell, and it was like they didn't want to go too long between starts, and he was playing in his home state. So if you're going by that logic, then you don't want Peter Mrazek sitting around either. And I think you know what it also would send a bit of a message to Jack Campbell in that maybe again, as I thought they were going to do in the first place, you give Mrazek a couple of starts to kind of say, all right, we're gonna give Peter his chance here because he's been the better goaltender lately.
Yeah, I mean, there's that angle, but also, speaking with a lot of very smart hockey people and guys, in the game, goaltenders, like if they're in a funk, the best way to do it is to just get a lot of practice time. And for Jack Campbell, if he's playing every night or every other night, there's not much time for him to work on his game in practice. I almost feel like giving Peter Mrazek a run here of 3 games or so, like give him the whole week. What's the schedule like? Is there a back to back this week? I
Well,
don't.
they
I'm not.
play Washington on Monday, then they play Buffalo on Wednesday.
Yeah, yeah. I know they got Washington, Buffalo. Like give Mrazek both of those starts, and give maybe Jack the whole week off, and let him come back and play the Saturday game.
Against the
You know,
Canucks.
let him play that game on Saturday against the Canucks. Like let him have that game there. Come back home refreshed. Give him the whole week to kind of get himself, have some good practices with Steve Briere, and try and get his game back because it's man, this ain't it. Like what we're seeing, and the thing is, when it comes to him, is we know that Jack Campbell's a good goaltender. We know that it's in him. He showed us that earlier this year. He showed us that all last year. So we know that he can be a top tier number one goaltender. It's all in his head.
Yeah.
It's all in his head. It always is. Confidence is so big for this guy. And I just think when he's getting out there, he's in his own head. He's allowing a goal here. And once he allows one or one bad one, things start to snowball. So maybe just take that risk away from him for that week and allow him to rest his mind, his body, his soul, all of that, and allow him to work on his game in practice, and then get him back out there for that game. For that game next weekend against the Canucks. That's what I would do if I was Sheldon Keefe. Whether or not he does that, I don't know. I don't know because at some point, you do want to like I guess you do talk to Jack and you say, "Hey, what do you want to do?" Or that's what they say. We talk to the goalies, we figure it out. But at some point, you got to kind of take the bull by the horns and say, "Look, you got to figure some stuff out. We're going to give you that time to figure it out. In the meantime, it's Peter's net." And that's what I think needs to happen this week.
And look, they have a back to back next week as well. They're gonna
Yeah.
need Jack. They're
Yeah,
gonna
of course. I mean, I'm not saying that to fully give Mrazek the net, but I think for the next few games here, I
I,
think that's what they need to do. And then they can reevaluate and reassess, you know, if Campbell comes back and has a couple of solid starts. I mean, the bigger problem too is Mrazek's not even running away with it. He has an opportunity to run away with it, become the number one goaltender here because Jack Campbell's just not hasn't been able to do it in the last 3 months, and he hasn't been able to do it. That's the sad part. You make these goaltenders, like these tandems are supposed to push each other and have that internal competition. There's no competition right now.
no.
It's who can suck less.
Yeah,
Like that's what it is right now. Who sucks less? Because that's who's going to get the start. One of these guys need to just take the bull by the horns because the job is up for grabs right now. I really do believe that the job is up for grabs. And if Campbell can refine his game, it's his job. He's back to being the top guy who's going to get 2 of 3 starts. But if it's Mrazek, he's got an opportunity to take it too. So the job's up for grabs. And one of those two, if the Maple Leafs want to do anything this season or anything in these playoffs, one of those two's got to get themselves back on track.
yeah. And I also think of it like it's
You missed,
almost like
you missed,
Mrazek.
you missed it, Dave.
Oh, mic drop. Sorry.
Our YouTube friends will see it. So if you're not on YouTube, you missed it. So go on YouTube. Tell you what, let's I guess we could keep this power ranking for tomorrow.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
also just wanted to point out that Ryan Dzingel scored his first goal with the San Jose Sharks tonight.
Oh yeah, Nick Ritchie had 2 points for the Arizona Coyotes too. 2-point night for Nick Ritchie. Good for you, pal. Good for you. Yeah. Uh Toronto, is this where people come to die? Is that what this is now? And then they get a
They can't
new
even
lease on life?
they can't even get to Toronto to die in some cases.
Well, yeah, for DeSingle, yeah, you're right.
Dzingel, Brooks.
And then you get a new lease on life when you leave Toronto. Maybe that's the case. All right. We were going to go through some of the goaltenders that Toronto could bring in if the front office believes that these two just can't get it done, and maybe they need to go shopping. We have a couple of guys. Tell you what, we'll do it tomorrow. So make sure you're subscribed because we're gonna have another episode coming out tomorrow, as we do each and every Monday through Friday. And we're gonna be doing it. It's our power ranking, our top 5 goalies who we think could be on the block and could help Toronto if they want to make a goalie change. So that's what's going to be on tomorrow's show. So make sure that you're subscribed and ready for that. But before I do, let me tell you about one of today's show sponsors as we close it out, and that's betonline.net. Football might be over for the season, but basketball is in full steam for both pro and college hoops. From all the latest odds, totals, player performance props to where the next fired coach is going to land, betonline.net is the number one spot for all your sports betting needs. BetOnline remains the best spot for all your sports scores, podcasts, and news this season. And it's not just basketball. BetOnline.net is your source for hockey, boxing, and UFC odds right to your favorite Vegas casino games. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to learn more about the trends in action. BetOnline, it's where the game starts.